As a professional operator, you must constantly see 360 to prevent collisions, especially with pedestrians and bicyclists. Pedestrians or cyclists struck by a vehicle could be badly hurt or killed. A fixed route vehicle weighs up to 26,000 pounds and a paratransit vehicle up to 13,000 pounds. When it comes to bus versus human, human always loses. In this lesson, we'll focus on procedures to help you avoid incidents involving pedestrians or bicyclists. Be aware of pedestrians near your vehicle, especially in the following situations.
Be vigilant at night or when weather limits visibility. Pedestrians will be more difficult to see at night or in bad weather, especially if they're wearing dark clothing. Be alert for pedestrians who may suddenly walk into the street from between parked cars. Always practice precaution and reduce your speed in areas where this may occur. Stop before you reach the edge of crosswalks and limit lines. This gives pedestrians in the crosswalk an extra cushion of safety. Slow down and be prepared to stop when turning into or entering a crosswalk, even if no one is in it at the moment. A bicyclist may suddenly come out into the crosswalk from around the corner and not be aware your vehicle is coming. Check to see where customers are right after they deboard your vehicle. Make sure your path is clear and your customers are seated before you drive away. Check your mirrors and make sure they are accounted for. Be aware of intoxicated pedestrians, especially when they get off your vehicle. Know where they are before you continue your route. They can be unpredictable and can slip into a blind spot without your seeing them. Be cautious when backing up and goal. Pedestrians, especially young children, may move across your path as you're backing. Pedestrians and bicyclists may be distracted in a variety of ways, walking or standing with their back to the traffic, looking in a different direction, listening to music with headphones or earphones, hurrying to get out of the inclement weather, talking or texting on a cell phone, wearing a hoodie that could affect their peripheral vision and their ability to see you.
Be especially alert when children are walking on sidewalks or playing near the road. Always practice extreme caution in residential areas or near schools. Always prepare for the unexpected with children. Bicyclists are just as vulnerable, if not more so, than pedestrians in a collision with a vehicle. In addition, cyclists can move faster and turn quicker than pedestrians. Inexperienced cyclists can also lose control of a bike and fall unexpectedly. You'll need to be doubly alert for people on bicycles for several other reasons.
A bicyclist wearing headphones or earbuds may not be able to hear your vehicle and may not realize you're close to them. Many bicyclists don't observe traffic control devices such as stop signs or red lights. Be very careful in those situations. Be alert. Bicyclists may ride into the street unexpectedly mid-block or from other unexpected places or from a different direction than traffic is supposed to be going. Children riding bicycles can be very unpredictable. Give them special attention and plenty of room. Be especially careful of bicyclists riding between your vehicle and the curb. If a cyclist is riding between your vehicle and a row of parked cars, watch for a motorist who may pull out into traffic in front of them, or for a driver or passenger opening a car door into the path of a cyclist. This may cause the cyclist to turn into your path or fall toward or under your vehicle.
Always maintain a 4-foot separation between the right side of your vehicle, including all mirrors or other objects, and the left side of a bicyclist. If you can't safely provide 4 feet of space for the bicyclist when attempting to pass them, slow down and follow them. Wait to pass them only when it's safe to do so. Here are additional safety tips. Assume bicyclists may suddenly turn in front of you. When you're passing a bicyclist, always try to gain eye contact. Start with a friendly tap of your horn. Assume bicyclists may not see or hear you, so drive with caution to avoid a collision. When you pass a bicyclist, be aware that you'll lose sight of them at some point. As we learned, intersections are one of the most dangerous areas we encounter as a professional operator. You must be attentive for other vehicles, but also be watchful for pedestrians and bicyclists at intersections as well.
When you're approaching the intersection, scan ahead to check for pedestrians or bicyclists. Before making a turn, always rock and roll to see behind your blind spots. It could save a life. Always look left, right, left. Always cover your brake when you're near pedestrians and bicyclists at turns and intersections. Be prepared to stop. Pay special attention to pedestrians and bicyclists near curbs and sidewalks who might try to cross the street at the last second. Scan your mirrors while turning at 3 to 5 miles per hour. Check for bicyclists or pedestrians who may be behind you and between your vehicle and the curb. Watch your mirrors to make sure your tail swing doesn't endanger bicyclists in the street or pedestrians near the curb. When in doubt, always yield the right-of-way to pedestrians and bicyclists. Give pedestrians and bicyclists extra space on the roadway. Don't expect them to do the safe, correct thing. Always be ready for the unexpected.
Lives are literally at stake every time you encounter pedestrians or bicyclists. They are difficult to see, unpredictable in their actions, and most will be seriously injured or killed in a crash with a transit vehicle. The most common causes for crashes like these are driver inattention, failure to see and yield the right-of-way, and failure to control speed. As a professional operator, you must drive defensively whenever you're near pedestrians or bicyclists. Keep the safety of everyone in mind, whether they're on foot, riding a bike, or driving a vehicle. They are someone's loved one and part of our community, and it's your responsibility as the professional to make sure we don't cause them any harm. Stick to these procedures and stay safe.
So you think you know everything there is to know about cold and flu in the workplace, huh? Okay, let's see about that. Did you know cold and flu are the most common and contagious diseases in the workplace? Did you know germs are spread in respiratory droplets caused by coughing and sneezing from person to person or by touching something contaminated? Yeah, okay, that one was easy. Did you know if you have a fever, you're probably the most contagious during that period? Did you know people are contagious one day before symptoms appear and up to a week after? Did you know that although most people recover from the flu virus in a few days, the virus can be deadly for others? The fact is, an estimated 80,000 Americans died of the flu and its complications in 2017. So, now that you know, here are some tips to help you and your colleagues stay safe at work and avoid colds and the flu. Get a flu shot, if possible. Stay home if you have a fever or can't control your coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands thoroughly and often. Avoid touching your mouth, nose, and eyes. Clean and wipe down shared surfaces such as countertops, keyboards, or phones. Keep in mind, most employers have formal sick day or attendance policies, but err on the side of safety and stay home if you're sick.
Hello and welcome to Operator Excellence Training. I'm JD Schmed. Over the next few lessons, we're going to talk about drug and alcohol awareness. As a professional operator, every time you step on board a vehicle, you are of course responsible for the people you transport, but you're also responsible for the vehicles and people around you. In order to provide the safe, drug-free transportation we're committed to delivering for our customers, the company has a zero-tolerance drug and alcohol policy that complies with federal regulations. Look, this is important, and we need to take it very seriously. We care about our customers, and we care about you. That's why we want to do everything we can to keep everybody safe. And to accomplish that, you really need to understand the effects drugs and alcohol can have on your body and the measures we all must take to operate within company policy and federal regulations.
The primary ingredient in marijuana is THC. It can be ingested as smoke, liquids, edibles, and vapors. THC can impair and affect your memory, coordination, perception, thinking, and judgment. The effects can last days or even weeks.
The U.S. Department of Transportation prohibits the use of marijuana in any form by a safety-sensitive employee. Prescription marijuana does not trump company policy or federal regulations. Employees are cautioned to never consume anything that could contain marijuana or any THC products. It is often believed that CBD products can be used without consequences, and that is just not accurate. Because the manufacturing and purification processes for CBD products is unregulated, it's possible for these to contain other cannabinoids such as THC. That means anyone in a safety-sensitive position must avoid all cannabis products, including CBD products, or they will be in violation of the company's zero-tolerance policy and subject to termination. Now, we're going to continue with the last two topics, testing procedures and the substance abuse policy. Anyone designated as a safety-sensitive employee, according to U.S. DOT regulations, is subject to DOT drug and alcohol testing. As reviewed, the following are considered safety-sensitive functions: vehicle operations, vehicle control, such as dispatching, vehicle or equipment maintenance, and armed security. If you perform any of those four functions on a daily basis or in an emergency situation, you are considered a safety-sensitive employee. It's not based on your job title. Safety-sensitive employees can be tested for drugs and alcohol in the following situations: pre-employment testing, random testing, reasonable suspicion testing, post-accident testing. Let's take a closer look at each. Pre-employment. When you're hired, you're required to submit to a drug test. Some contracts may also require a pre-employment alcohol test. Employees will also be subject to pre-employment testing if they haven't performed safety-sensitive functions for any reason and have been out of the random pool for 90 days for FTA divisions or for 30 days for FMCSA divisions.
Reasonable suspicion or cause. You must submit to a drug and/or alcohol test if a supervisor requests one based on reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion means a trained supervisor or other company official reasonably believes you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol based on specific observations concerning your appearance, speech, behavior, body odors, or other observable factors. Part of a daily fitness for duty assessment includes that you are not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. Random. You are subject to random, unannounced drug and alcohol testing. Post-accident. This is required if you are involved in an accident meeting certain criteria of the DOT agency.
A safety-sensitive employee cannot refuse a test. If you refuse a drug or alcohol test after a manager has advised you to submit to a test, it will be deemed a refusal. A refusal to test carries the same penalty as a positive test result and will result in your termination.
Use of marijuana is federally prohibited at all times, regardless of whether it's been approved for medical or recreational use in your state. DOT states that marijuana remains listed as a drug in Schedule I of the Controlled Substances Act, and it's unacceptable for safety-sensitive employees to use marijuana. Employees are also prohibited from reporting for duty while under the influence of prohibited substances, even if they have been legally prescribed. If you test positive, refuse a test, or violate DOT drug and alcohol rules, you will be provided with a referral to a substance abuse professional in your area as required by DOT and immediately terminated. All the details we have discussed in our lessons pertaining to our zero-tolerance drug and alcohol policy are covered in the Substance Abuse Handbook. All employees must have completed all drug and alcohol awareness training we have just covered.